If your math block feels rushed, loud, or your small groups are getting interrupted every 30 seconds, you're not bad at teaching math. Your structure just needs support. Today I'm walking you through exactly how I set up Math Daily 3 and manage my math time so that my math block runs calmer, smoother, and I'm able to get to all of my math small groups. This video is for kindergarten all the way through 5th grade elementary teachers who like the idea of stations but feel that it could turn into chaos during math time. Hey teacher friend, I'm Molly and I'm a 5th grade teacher who's also taught kindergarten and 1st grade, and I've used Math Daily 3 every single year that I've been an elementary teacher, and it started back my first year. I was teaching just kindergarten math at the time. I was in a K-1 split, but I had half kindergartners that were mine and half that were another teacher's. And so with different management styles, it was a little bit chaotic, and I distinctly remember my principal coming in to watch, and I was like soaking up all of her advice on how I could make math smoother. And eventually, later in the year, I was trying everything whole group and it just wasn't working. And I remembered, oh hey, you use the Daily 5 and you get to all your reading groups. Could that work for math? And I just want to say, of course, I didn't invent that. The Daily 5 is created by the two sisters. Math Daily 3 is a section in this book. So what I did is I learned all about Math Daily 3 so that I could start implementing it with my kindergartners. Of course, whole group can work. I don't want this video to be any shade at whole group. I'm going to show you also how I incorporate a little bit of whole group and then pull math small groups, whether you're teaching kindergarten like I was in the beginning, or I switched to 1st grade, or you're 2nd all the way through 5th. This method works because it's a system, it's a framework for how to structure your math block. It's not the instruction. Nowhere in any of my videos am I going to tell you how to teach what you're teaching. I'm just going to show you the structure, the method, the best ways that I found to tweak Math Daily 3 to make it work better for my elementary classroom. Now, why a whole group strictly wasn't working is because I still needed to pull kids to work with them, because not all kids are engaged during whole group lesson. They might have been tired the night before, or maybe they're going through something at home, or maybe math is just really hard and they check out because they know that the 5 kids that always have the answer are going to have the answer and they don't need to do the work. And so I knew I needed a way to reach them on their level where they didn't feel the stress, the anxiety that often math brings our students because of not knowing the answers or needing to ask for extra help, but not knowing how to ask without feeling embarrassed. So the tie-in here to Daily 5, it's the same philosophy, it's the same structure, and so there's less behavior management once you get the system in place because your kids already know what to do. So you've trained them on how to do Daily 5. Daily 3 is a natural progression into that. You will love having the similarity of your math and your ELA block, having that structure, especially when the random days that you have to be gone, your kids can still do that structure with a sub and it runs so smoothly. Every note I've ever gotten back from a sub will tell me either Math Daily 3 or Daily 5 was the best part of the day because the kids knew what to do and they stayed on task. So like I mentioned before, Math Daily 3 is created by the two sisters that came up with the Daily 5 method, and instead of 5 possible choices, there are 3. But again, you can adapt this however you see fit in your classroom. The 3 stations that Math Daily 3 has are math by myself, math with someone, and math writing. But just like Daily 5 and the way I've adapted it to work better for my classroom, you can do this with Math Daily 3 as well. And so I always have math with teacher, MT, up on the board because I know I'm going to pull a math small group every single day. They're going to get to work with me. We do a whole group warm-up every day, non-negotiable. And then there also might be another part of the whole group lesson where we're reviewing what we learned yesterday and introducing the topic for the day so everybody's aware of what they're going to work on with me in the small group. But I've just found when I switched from 1st grade to 5th grade, if I didn't teach in small groups, it was really tough to get people to engage because by 5th grade, the level of hands that go up is so much less than kindergarten, and kids are just anxious and apprehensive about math. They've either had a bad experience with math or they don't feel confident. So if I could teach them in a small group, they could learn better, and it was true. It was like a night and day difference once I did that. But again, no matter what grade you're teaching, this works. even my kindergarten teacher friends, because I've been there. I taught kindergarten for 6 years. So this is a framework, not a rigid schedule. It works through all the grade levels. You adjust the expectations, but we go over those every single day. My students will say, Math Daily 3, expectations. It's the same as Daily 5. Work the whole time. Stay in one spot. Level 0. So that I, as the teacher, can get to my math groups, and they know that. But going over that every single day, I'm going to encourage you to do that. And everything I talk about in this video today is inside of my Math Daily 3 starter kit, and I'll leave that in the link below. Behind the scenes, what do the rotations look like? How long are they? I like to reverse engineer. So look at how long your math block is and then kind of time yourself. How long did the warm-up take? How long did the whole group lesson take? Then you can decide how much time you have for stations after that. I'm notorious for going over, which is hard whenever your district really wants you to follow the actual time limits. Don't even get me started on that. We're talking though like 15 to 20 minutes max per station. With littler students, it might be less. It just depends on their stamina, but you build math stamina up to the point where they can work independently. And even with 5th grade, you all the way up to the upper grades, you do this as well. I use the math stamina building chart. You have to do that. When you're introducing this, you're not just jumping into teaching math at the beginning of the year, you're setting up the stations. But not just the beginning of the year, you can implement Math Daily 3 at any time of year, and that's why I'm talking about this time right now. If you're watching this in real time, this is February, because I'm hosting a Math Daily 3 workshop where I'm going to teach you everything to set up Math Daily 3, because what I learned as someone who's a visual learner, having someone show you how to set it up step by step and what stations look like, I need that. And so what I've heard from you guys from the last couple years was, we love your Daily 5 workshop. You talk about Math Daily 3 a little bit. Do you have a workshop for that? And I've had one in my queue for, not kidding, 2 years. And so finally I'm doing it on February 28th. So check the link below to sign up for the workshop. It'll be 1 hour. You will get everything behind the scenes of how I actually run Math Daily 3. And the reason it can't just be a YouTube video is because that would be an hour-long YouTube video. And this way you can stay, ask questions, pick my brain about Math Daily 3, the whole thing. So the number of groups you pull is really going to depend. Math Daily 3 is specific to the 3, so you could do Math Daily 4, you could do Math Daily 2. I think we get really hung up on a title and a name and think that we have to do it exactly like they do in the book. If you are not super outside the box thinking, I get that. And so that's why the workshop will be really great for you to come to, because you'll get to see behind the scenes in my classroom and stuff that I actually do that I can't show here on YouTube. And so the structure, the scheduling, all of that is the key piece that I think really holds a lot of teachers back. We'll also talk about how to decide who you pull first. What are the groupings you're going to do? How to use data to drive those decisions. So I mentioned before my actual schedule, and I want to just say it again. So there's a math warm-up, low barrier entry. Everybody can participate. We're doing whole brain teaching that whole time too. We're turning, we're talking, we're sharing. And then after that, there's the whole group mini lesson where we're either going over a topic from yesterday, introducing a new topic, warming ourselves up further for math small groups. After that, there's 3 groups depending on my class size. They could be smaller, they could be larger. You know that varies from year to year depending on where you teach. After that, the rotations are pretty simple. They're going to work on something. Math writing is something they did in their group. So I try to time that right after their group so that they make sure they're getting that page done in their journal. Whatever it is that we worked on in the whole group or the small group lesson, they need to get that finished. They are accountable to me by taking a screenshot of it and they send it to me digitally and I check it over. Then they're going to work on fact fluency. A lot of times, even by 5th grade, they don't have that. So that's one station that always is on repeat in my classroom. Also, they have time to do math iPad, but the games are really restricted. It's just the math curriculum that we use that they can find those games, and it has to be tied into the whole group lesson. I use Apple Classroom to control this so that kids are not on things they shouldn't be. I've talked about this before on my listen to reading YouTube video. So if you want to see how that's done with Daily 5, it's going to be the same with Math Daily 3 on how you kind of keep control over what they're looking at, keep them safe on the internet, and also keep them focused on what they actually should be learning. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to fit into your regular math block schedule. Routines and expectations and having a system and structure are what changed everything for me, and that's why I think you'll love Math Daily 3. I'd love to know, what are you doing for math right now? Are you more of a whole group teacher? Do you like to pull stations, or do you like the idea of working with station centers, pulling small groups, but you're not quite sure how to do it? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, the Math Daily 3 workshop is going to be live this month. If you're watching this later in date, you can always watch the replay. Make sure you grab the link below to sign up. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.